Hey, 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 how's everybody doing? 337 in Chicago. Uh, well, energy. All right, that's the play today. All right, futures SPY were down pretty much the whole day here to the downside. Same thing with diamonds. All right, Q's were trying to get it going on early. We had some movement coming up with Micron and SanDisk and Intel and Marvel. So they tried to make a move again to the upside, and as I said this morning, probably still not going to get to that spot where these things start to want to go. All right, so here's your futures right here on SPY right now. I'll make this quick here. All right, so as you can see on the 2 hour from the overnight of Saturday and Sunday, and then you got the two up today, and then it was pretty much puking for the rest of the way coming back down today. All right, so tried to firm up a little bit here at the end of the day with a 2-1 coming back inside on the 30-minute, but no sign of turning around. One of the few times that we start a week with a red week. Okay, that's kind of rare. I just don't. I looked at it today and I was like, we don't have too many of those. So we jump in with the day down here with your new week. So these are two in the same here. All right. So two. So we're going to be one on the week here, and we're inside, and you got a 2-1-2 breakdown on the daily for the SPY. We'll see what happens there. QQQ again. QQQ tried to get it going on early in the day. And if you can come back here, you put up a 3-2 to start the day, and then you made the highs. And then that was it, man. And then everything went into chop shop the rest of the day. So again, we had SanDisk moving here, SNDK. Nice move to the upside early in the day here. Got all the way up to 1827. Now we're back at 1775. All right, so we're going to be kind of stuck inside this 2 hour pattern right here. All right, so that was that move there, and Micron was kind of following it a little bit. SanDisk was definitely the leader today to the upside, and there's the move of the day right there. The first four bars of the day on the 30 made the high there at 1827, and that was that. All right, I just showed you that, but I meant to put in Micron. So here's Micron with the 2-2 up there, and then they break down from there. All right. So again, they cooled their jets again, but they're going to keep trying. They're going to keep pushing, and they're going to keep trying. So we'll see what happens there. Intel closes out at 103.49. It was lower, got down to 102 handle, came back a little bit here at the end of the day. So Intel was able to basically try to come back to where she almost, it was the 3-1-2-2 back up to the highs, and then chopped, and then broke, and then chopped more. So we'll see what happens with them. And then we look at some of the cloud fares we had moving today. AREN, this thing was pretty strong. It was with the two down, and then made the highs. Kind of came back down again a little. So this one, little bouncy here this morning, man. Right? You had to move to the downside, and you got the 1-1-2-2 back up, and then they kind of let it slide the rest of the day there. Oracle, I'm not going to go through a lot here. All right, so Oracle down again here now. Yes, today's lows were 145.52. So we broke through that 147 area where we thought maybe there was a little bit of a support level there. At least I did think, but we broke through there. Okay, so today we get down to 145.45. So puts us in a position now where we're 2-1 inside the week here, and just 2-2 down. This can be reversed very easily. All right, but we'll see what happens with that. So we got the semis. We're trying to move to the upside today, and they got snubbed. And these guys came up early on Oracle, and then they gave it up. So you see, these guys are working in tandem. All right. So one is going to sacrifice the other, or so it seems. But we'll see as days go by, and we'll see how this week starts to shape up. But the big news today is, More war, more war, more war. All right, and threats of more war. So continuation to the upside on your energy stocks. Okay, here we are on ConocoPhillips. Our next move is 134.49. If you want to move up on the monthly, here we are, man. We're sitting up at the highs right now. All right, ConocoPhillips comes back a little bit. I mean, look at the 3-2 up on the 4 hour. Showing some strength here, all right. And Exxon, which is XOM, okay. So Exxon kind of turned around here, moving really good all day, and then you get the triangle out a little bit, sort of. All right, and now she's overnight here, coming back inside a little bit. So Exxon finishes the day up $1.36, up a 0.8%. So not bad there. CVX. Again, another one with the move, nice move up to the upside all day until the 323. All right, so three coming back though, 203.90 already. All right, these are going higher. All right, I believe that Exxon, Chevron, and ConocoPhillips, and I like those three exclusively. I like those. And then we look at the UCO. The UCO was up all day, man, and the light sweet crude was nowhere near. This was up 5% today on the UCO. All right, so UCO is it's just a U.S. all U.S. in here. All right, so it's oil, but it's basically just in the United States. All right, so little cup here. See if you can get a handle on that and get it moved back up to the upside. That's what I would be looking for right there. You get the cup, you get down the handle, and then you move to the upside. All right, so there could be a little bit of a break coming back in there, and we look for that turnaround to get back up again. All right, so and then on the slash CLs, on the regular sweet crude, CL, finishes up 3% though on the day. Though I didn't realize it even got up that big. All right, so up 3%, up $2.55. Crude on the move. Crude on the move. All right, more war. We'll see, and that's not good. All right, so kind of what's going on there. Energy utilities are good. Maybe a little bit of a stall out, but I don't really think so. You still came finishing up with a nice hammer on the day here. All right, just kind of choppy. All right, so you had a nice move up to 44 and a quarter. That was the high of the day. It did come back to there, and it almost got back to there at the end again. So I think the utilities are still strong. The one thing here is that we could have went outside today, but we just didn't have the energy to do it. Pun. All right, we're still looking to take the 212 up on the week, guys. Still sticking with the same song. All right. Once we get up to this area, like 44 and change, that month, I know you can't see it right now, but it will turn into green. Okay. So we'll see with the utilities. A couple ones here. Knee comes out with a strong finish, coming back up at the end of the day here. This thing was moving upwards since early morning. Okay, so this was the 2-2, and then you got it a little bit higher. They're up to 86.31. We'll see if anything happens with that DTE. All right, this one was up to not much on this one here. Same thing. So we're looking for a 212 that could trigger the 212 on the week. You see that? So the 212 could take up tomorrow, and then that could trigger the 2-week up, and then we look for 143.18 for the next move to the upside. All right. So utilities are still really, really good. I think if energy stays where she is and we move exponentially farther, I think utilities will go with those. All right. XLP was a yo-yo today. It really was moving around a lot. It really was, but it was a gapper down day. All right. So another breakdown here. That's a 20-day that you're looking at right there. It's a 50-day. All right. This is your 200. All right. So crossing through the 50 right now. All right, we'll see what happens there. All right, there's, because of this move to the downside, got triggered there. So XLP, we're still going to be stuck inside of 1 month right now. So how this goes is kind of a wild card here right now. All right, and the month is inside as a 1 as well. So XLP, little pullback today. All right, so they just didn't like them right off the bat there. Uh, and we talked about XLU. Let's talk about the sectors and who's in command. XLE is in command. All right, and undoubtedly so. 2-2 up on the month, 2-2 up on the week, 2-2 up on the day. Finishes near the highs at 62.73. I'll tell you, energy looks like she's going higher here. All right. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if all of a sudden they just turn the button off. So be prepared for that too. All right. Because we've seen how this operates. Right. He could bomb the hell out of you today and it's your best friend tomorrow. Okay, so be aware of that, and I think you already know that. I mean, you've been around seeing this long enough, so we'll see you there. All right, so XLE definitely though number one to start the week. Start for the day. Definitely number one for the week, and for the month. It's in third place in month right now. All right, because basic materials, XLB, metals. All right, so good day today for the metals coming back up. And I see right now on the overnights on 2 hours, here they come. All right, it was a kind of a downer day. 2-1-2 day on XLB, and you're 2-2 down on the month. So it's such a wide array of stocks that are involved in XLB. All right, you got that gold and those metals in there. Gold was a good day. It was up 4% today. And then silver, at least earlier, and check it later, and that one's kind of not as good, all right, but up $1.09. One thing I've been noticing is that natty gas has been going lower here. So starting to go into the fall at $9.82 with probably a cold winter coming. Probably, I would maybe look for maybe a little lower pricing in here. And this is the gap. There was a gap here. There's a gap there. All right, it hasn't come down and filled the gap yet. I guess it came down here and it did fill the gap. All right, so we'll see. It was put up a day today. I think this is. I think this is. I think it's still a little low right now. All right, on natty gas. Especially we still got a lot of summer here left, but it's waning. All right, it's waning. All right, so there's your natty gas. We'll see with that one. So that was our number 2 group today. Was materials. XLI. XLI. It was all the big guys, and I say this all the time. They take the big guys first. Cat Tractor, he's one of the big guys in the XLI. All right, did have a good day, but kind of crap out at the end here, especially off the highs of the day. Made that move down to the downside there, and now here we are stuck inside. But Cat Tractor was up $25 today. So you look at that one, and then you look at GE. GE kind of sputtered out on us too at the end for sure. All right, so kind of gave up at the end of the day, but they were fighting back the entire time. So GE, and then there's that GEV. GEV kind of crapped out coming back there too. John Deere. John Deere gave it up at the end of the day. So the industrials were removing. One group that was definitely not good, unless they rallied up a little bit. I did not check the end of the day. But yeah, United Airlines down $2. Down $3.08. Down 2.46% to the downside. All right, stay away from the airlines with this business going on. All right, 2-2 down on the week, American Airlines, 2-2 down on the day, soon 2-2 down on the month potentially. All right, but lower. So be careful with those stocks. All right, stay away from like Royal Caribbean cruise lines. All this business, no good right now. All right, coming back down here on the RCL, coming back down. All right, so CCL, anything luxury is probably things that you're going to be looking to go down on. And then you got Airbnb. These discretionaries are horrible right now, so I would just sit tight. Look at this one coming back down with the 2-2 down. You probably get lower prices on that, and still, what McDonald's, man, down to 266 now. So just continue full time frame continuity to the downside on McDonald's. No hurry to be running after McDonald's here right now. All right, still staying down. McDonald's not doing so well here. Starbucks, another one here, is a little better. So two up today, but most of the, they were lower, all right, but they've come back pretty strong. And now she's kind of chopping up, so not really hard to tell what's going on there. I just would be very careful with this. One I really like that is breaking is Alta. I love this daily coming down. I love this weekly coming down. This thing's setting up nice, but no hurry here on this one at all. So that will be it for another day. But keep an eye on that one. We'll see with that. All right. So discretionaries, not even worth talking about. Healthcare, it was up 0.06%, doing nothing today. Technology, 0.1%. All right, nothing going on in tech world because we got Peter, Rob, and Paul between the semis and the clouds. All right, so they're going to keep duking it out. Utilities were down on the day; they were down 0.46. Our consumer defensive stocks were down a little over 1%. Looks like we're going into more war, more business, and XLP is going the other way. So XLP is telling us something else. It's telling us that everything's cool and everything's all right. All right, so I don't know. I'm a little tricky. I'm tricked on that one. Communication services, Meta was down, and Meta was down. Okay, and down on the day. So Meta was lower here. You know who was fighting today, I got to say, is Apple. And Apple was fighting all day. All right, so I think she still needs to go down to 296 so we can triangle this thing out and get it fixed. But we might not get that. But it was acting better today, And another one that I kind of like, they got kind of hit today, and the reason I say that is because it took a hit today. So I like Tesla. I think it's next month's trade. I know you can't see the month, but we're inside on the week right now. You guys can look and see what the month on Tesla is. All right, it's in there. It's green. It's sitting in there. All right, 2-1 inside here now. So this was your new week coming in, kind of red, dipping down with a shooter down today. All right, so we'll see. That's going to be an insider. We'll see if they're looking for a 2-1-2 possibly back down. And then if we start to break that Tesla back down, we could break down into that 312, 313 era. I think that's a good price if we get that low, and I don't think we will. The Mag 7 is kind of all jacked up right now because what's going on with the semis and the clouds. So you're just going to have to. You can have this energy thing's gonna have to get duked out until we find out which way it's gonna go. So I'd sit tight on energy. I mean, not on that one, but energy is gonna rule the day here. We'll see if it can continues, and we'll see what happens. All right, so that's about it. I didn't want to go on for too long. Utilities, another decent day. I think we're gonna get that move. But we're going to probably need some help from that energy with moving with us. Okay, so have that in your mind as you're thinking about it. All right. So everybody have a good evening. All right, and be good.